Everybody. Lawrence Township Councilman Jim Kanacki. Lawrence Township Councilman Mike Powers, welcome. Colonel Joel Martin. Joel, welcome. Lieutenant Colonel of the United States Army retired Tom Smith, past commander of the 112th Field Artillery Association. Members of the United States Navy Sea Cadets, John T. Dempster, Junior Division, led by Warrant Officer David Sheets. Members and friends of the 112th Field Artillery Association. We join here together this day in remembrance of and to salute those who gave their utmost in service to our great nation. May their sacrifice and those they left behind never be forgotten. At this time, I ask everyone to please stand for the invocation, our national anthem, and the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear God, on this Memorial Day, I am thankful for the sacrifice so many throughout our history have made, for the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and for their families who have to carry on without them. It is a sacrifice that is easy to forget. For those who have it, freedom is like oxygen. It's something we must have. Many will not understand just how precious either is until they are at risk of being taken away. I remember a sacrifice made in a debt I cannot repay. Today I pray for the God of heaven to bless the families of those who have lost loved ones while serving our great nation. I pray for him to bless and comfort the walking wounded who are still with us, and bless their families as well. It is also my prayer that we remember their sacrifice and the precious gift of freedom every day, not just once a year, but when they are in danger of being taken away. Yours faithfully will pray through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Toast the colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to give a little background on our guest speaker today, Colonel Joel Martin. Colonel Martin serves as the Deputy Chief of Staff, Personnel G1, Joint Force Headquarters, New Jersey. Prior to serving as G1, Colonel Martin served as the Deputy Inspector General for the New Jersey National Guard, Inspector General Office, from 2015 to 2018. Additionally, Colonel Martin served as Deputy Director of Operations for the New Jersey Army Guard in 2015. He also served as Deputy Personnel Officer for the New Jersey Army National Guard from February 2014 to December 2014. He's a native of Hackensack, New Jersey. Colonel Martin graduated from Hofstra University and was commissioned in 1996. He served in field artillery assignments, including the best, the 3rd Battalion, 112th Field Artillery. Colonel Martin was deployed on several occasions with the 5th Battalion, 3rd Field Artillery, 17th Field Artillery Brigade in support of Operation Southern Watch and Intrinsic Action, Coalition Land Forces Component Command in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, and the 50th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, Joint Area Support Group, Baghdad, in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He's a graduate of the United States Army Airborne School, Field Artillery Officer Basic and Advanced Courses, Command and General Staff College, and my favorite, the United States Army War College. Colonel Martin also earned a Master's in Strategic Studies from the United States Army War College, and a Master's of Science in Management from the University of Maryland University College. He is married to the former Kimberly Ragsdale. Kimberly, I know Kimberly and her son Jonathan are here. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Colonel Joel Martin. Joel.
It's great to be here with you today on this lovely Memorial Day. I'm glad that you took the time out of your busy schedules. I know this is the unofficial beginning of summer. A lot of people are headed to the beach. A lot of people are headed to barbecues. But I appreciate the fact that you took the time to gather today to remember those soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice. So on behalf of the Adjutant General of the great state of New Jersey, Brigadier General Jamal J. Beal, and the 8,400 soldiers and airmen of the New Jersey National Guard, and the more than 340,000 veterans in New Jersey, it is my honor to be here with you today. One of the reasons I believe America is the greatest nation on earth is because we never, ever forget those who gave their lives serving this great country. Paying tribute to these special Americans is a practice that began on May 30th, 1868, as our nation struggled to heal from a civil war that had divided families, loyalties, and nearly destroyed the United States itself. The first Memorial Day was called Decoration Day. On that day, General John Logan, commander of the Grand Army of the Republic, called for every American to decorate the graves of the fallen, whose bodies, as he put it, quote, now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land, end of quote. He went on to say, quote, we should guard their graves with sacred vigilance. Let no neglect, no ravages of time testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten as a people the cost of a free and undivided republic, end quote. America became what it is today, a beacon admired around the world because of its people's willingness to defend freedom. The stature America now enjoys in the world was paved by the sacrifices of young men and women who gave their lives in battles from the Stone to Baghdad. Memorial Day is a time we honor those Americans, and we do that in many ways. We do it by attending ceremonies like this one today, and we do it by visiting special places right here in New Jersey that are dedicated to the memory of the fallen. One of those places, if you look to your rear, right across that field lies a big shade tree on the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. Under that tree is a granite stone etched with 5 names. Staff Sergeant Frank Carville of Carlstadt, Specialist Christopher Duffy of Brick, Staff Sergeant Humberto Timoteo of Newark, Sergeant Ryan Dalt of Mine Hill, and Staff Sergeant Jorge Oliveira of Newark. These are the 5 New Jersey Army National Guard soldiers who gave their lives in the conflicts that came after September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Carville, Duffy, Timoteo, and Dalt died in 2 separate attacks in Baghdad, a day apart, on June 4th and June 5th of 2004. They died trying to bring security to an area of Iraq's capital known as Sadr City. They were among more than 80 New Jersey residents who made the ultimate sacrifice in Iraq. Staff Sergeant Oliveira's name was added to that memorial in Lawrenceville in 2011 after his death in Afghanistan, where he had been helping to train members of that nation's fledgling armed forces. In recent weeks, our state and nation has lost 3 of its most courageous New Jerseyans. We remember Dr. Derek E. Nelson of Plainfield. He was an educator in civilian life and unanimously appointed principal of Westfield High School in 2017. He recently had been named Educator of the Year by the New Lambda chapter of his fraternity, Omega Psi Phi. Dr. Nelson would have been married next month to the love of his life, Sharonda Breaker, the mother of his child, Morgan Kimberly. Dr. Nelson was a Chief Warrant Officer, too, in the 411th Chemical Company, Army Reserve in Edison, New Jersey. He had previously been a drill sergeant for 3rd Battalion, 385th Infantry Regiment, and an instructor at the Regimental Training Center East on Joint Base McGuire-Diggs Lakehurst. Prior to Sergeant Nelson's accession as a warrant officer, Sergeant Nelson deployed to Camp Arifjan, Kuwait, as the Chemical, Biological, Nuclear, Radiological, non-commissioned officer in charge for the 143rd Sustainment Command. Such was the force of his character that Dr. Nelson chose, in his own words, to endure a little bit of pain to help someone else. He had been identified as a stem cell match for a 14-year-old boy in France and did not hesitate to help. Though Dr. Nelson did not survive the donation procedure in April, his legacy will live on in his soldiers, his students, and his family. Please observe a moment of silence for Dr. Derek Nelson. You remember 20-year-old Specialist Nicholas McPeak Damone, the 3rd of Metro Police. Specialist Damone grew up in a military family. The son of an aviator, Chief Warrant Officer to Nicholas P. Damone III. When Specialist Damone was only 5 years old, his father died in a helicopter crash during training at Fort Stewart, Georgia. His sister, Gianna, was only 2 when his mother, Melissa, was left a widow. The loss of his father never dissuaded Specialist Damone from following his dream of becoming a soldier and a paratrooper. In March, Specialist Damone's unit, the 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, Airborne 25th Infantry Division, Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, was conducting a training exercise in Alaska when the unthinkable occurred. Despite immediate medical intervention and his buddies' attempts to save his life, Specialist Damone did not survive the live fire accident. His teachers at Shawnee High School called him first and foremost a loving and supportive son and brother, a fiercely loyal friend, and always wanted to serve our country, even though his family had already endured the tremendous loss of his father. Please observe a moment of silence for Specialist Nicholas Damone III. We remember 21-year-old Private First Class Jamie R. Riley of Fairhaven. PFC Riley's family, Carolyn and Carl Riley, and sister Cassidy, his friends and teachers described him as a natural leader. As a student at Red Bank Catholic High School, he excelled in football, track and field, and taekwondo, achieving his third-degree black belt. PFC Riley was an outdoorsman, an animal lover, and taught himself how to play the bagpipes in honor of his Scottish heritage. PFC Riley enlisted early last year as a cavalry reconnaissance scout stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas, where he was assigned to 1st Battalion, 1st Striker Brigade Combat Team. In January, a striker training accident tragically ended the lives of PFC Riley and one of his battle buddies, Corporal Cole Wixom of Michigan. 7 other soldiers were injured. PFC Riley was interred at Arlington National Cemetery, surrounded by more than 400,000 of his fellow service members. From the youngest private to the most decorated general, from the Civil War to the present day, our nation's heroes lie in quiet repose and are mourned by more than 3 million visitors every year. Please observe a moment of silence for PFC James Riley. The sacrifices of our departed service members do not go unnoticed, and it is not our task to ease the pain of loss with remembrance of their lives. It is now our task, to ease the pain of loss with remembrance of their lives. Today is the day we remember Dr. Derek Nelson, Specialist Nicholas P. DeMonin III, Private First Class Jamie R. Riley, and all the other American service members that gave their all in the name of liberty. May you leave here today being thankful for their sacrifice. May God bless America. Thank you.
One person I forgot to mention in the beginning is someone that has supported us 100% from day one, Joe Leck. Joe, I know you're sitting here. Joe, thank you for all you do for us. I got here early and Joe was here before me. So Joe, thank you for all you do. One nice thing about having a guest speaker, I don't have to speak, so that's great. At this time, members of the United States Navy Sea Cadets will post the memorial flowers. Post the flowers. Please stand. Please be seated. The 112th Field Artillery Association remembers by name those members of our units who have fallen. From the 695th Armored Field Artillery Battalion, World War II, Private Andrew L. Bluda. First Lieutenant William E. Eastville, Jr. Corporal Gabriel Crossworth. Private First Class Castellano F. Magistro. Private Lewis F. Mount. Private Roger S. Pancoast. Private First Class Erwin Romer. Corporal Roy Stademeyer. Staff Sergeant Francis W. Walton.
The following personnel are from the 696th Armored Field Artillery, World War II. Technician 5th Class George F. Appleby. Corporal Robert M. Benson. Private James W. Blankenship. Private 1st Class Lawrence E. Browning. Technician 5th Class Charles L. Carrison. Private 1st Class Leo M. Clark. Technician 5th Class Thurman L. Ertzberger. Technician 4th Class Robert Ensminger. Private Samuel Guglielmo. Corporal William K. Heeler. Technician 5th Class Vincent J. Carney. Sergeant Michael C. Kopak. Sergeant Robert J. Crow. Technician 5th Class Chester D. Landers. First Lieutenant John W. McGrew. Private Harry J. Miller. Private Louis A. Mount. Technician 4th Class Charles H. Probasco. Technician 4th Class John Servin. Private 1st Class Charles T. Smith. Corporal John D. Wilson. Technician 4th Class Edward R. Masaki. Corporal Gerald E. Young.
.695 Armored Field Artillery Battalion, Korea. Corporal William J. O'Donnell. Operation Iraqi Freedom. Staff Sergeant Frank T. Carvin. Specialist Christopher M. Duffy. Staff Sergeant Humberto F. Timoteo. Sergeant Ryan E. Dolce. Members of the 112th Field Artillery Association who passed away since our last Memorial Day, 2018. Chief Warrant Officer 4, United States Army retired, Robert L. Chamberlain Sr. Colonel, United States Army retired, Herbert S. Holland Jr. Chief Warrant Officer 4, United States Army retired, John Monroe. Sergeant, United States Army retired, John Osway. Major, United States Army retired, Raymond Rayamano. Major General, United States Army retired, Richard S. Schneider. Why I'm stalling up here. They say that people die twice in their life. When they take their last breath, and the last time their name is remembered. That's why we're here today, so we don't forget those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country, so that they are not forgotten. Bear with me. Fire mission.
The howitzers ready. Fire! Rounds complete.
Retire the colors. Present arms. Order on. This concludes our program. I thank everybody for coming out, taking time out of your busy day to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. We'll have our picnic starting at noontime and back. Relax, enjoy, and see you later. Thank you for coming.